live in living color, in Lamont and Larry colors. You're in the building with the Life Gain Avengers of current culture. Is me. It's that living legend, Larry. And brother Larry, you look like you at the Navajo Ranch in Las Vegas at a porn shoot. Where the hell is you at, my brother? That background looks very, very nice.
I'm just trying out some new stuff here on whatchamacallit, on StreamYard.
Oh, you got one of those nice little backgrounds going on or what may have you.
You know, I might change it up a little bit. Let's see if I change it up a little bit, what I can get here.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Let's go try this out here. And there we go.
Oh my God. Now my man's surfing. God, to be more careful.
Now I'm on the beach.
brother think he a dark-skinned Shubba Ranks. What in the hell?
Shubba.
Oh my Lord.
Shubba.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you all coming in, showing us some love. You know, we got topics 1 through 6. Normally today we got 1 through 7. I don't know if we're going to be able to get through all of them, but we'll try. And before we get going, let me shout out everybody that's watching us. It's always because of you guys. The channel is able to grow. The channel is able to prosper. You're helping Larry grow. You're helping Larry get his message out there on his channel about all the great things he's reviewing. And whenever you guys are going to make a purchase for tech and you want to know about it, be sure to go check out Larry's channel. He's handling that tech so that you guys can know whether or not you need to spend your hard-earned money on said tech that Larry is reviewing for you so that you can make an informed decision.
That's right. Check me out.
Having said that, what's up to my boy, Buzz703 in the building?
703.
That's what we do. So, Buzz, since you here first, or at least you done jumped in the comment section first, I want you to pick a number 1 through 7. And Larry, you the co-host, you always get a number first. What number you picking 1 through 7?
I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with number 2 today. I don't think I've picked number 2.
Okay. Larry done beat me down with number 2. My folk Mike Willie in the building. My folk 351 Cleveland saying it's freezing in South Carolina. Well, bruh, it's freezing in North Carolina. Man, I went out there and I thought I saw icicles on my balls this morning. It was cold this morning, man. Cold. It was freezing out there. And I thought I was going to run a mile, and I was like, nope, going right back in the house. Okay, my folk Buzz picked number 7. And Mike Willie, you picked, okay, who? Oh, man, Centino Torres picked number 1. We didn't even ask him to pick, but hell, we'll run with it. Mike Willie. Pick a number, and then we're going to jump right on into Larry's number 2. And I can't wait to hear what Larry's going to have to say about number 2. It's an old hero of ours back from the 80s that is now and making the headlines all over again. And my folk might pick number 3. So we're going to dive right on into it. First subject we're covering based on Larry's pick. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Cosby is back in the news.
Oh, here we go again.
Because in the state of Pennsylvania, he might be able to make an appeal. Let me get you guys caught up on the latest information about brother Bill Cosby, whose favorite drug is called a Quaalude.
Bill Cosby wants a new trial. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court is set to hear that appeal tomorrow. Right now, the disgraced actor and comedian is serving a 3 to 10 years prison sentence for drugging and molesting a woman. His conviction 2 years ago was a watershed moment for the Me Too movement. Some legal experts now contend Bill Cosby has a shot at an appeal. Here's CNBC's Scott Cohn.
Convicting the man once known as America's Dad in the assault of former Temple University employee Andrea Constand took 2 trials and testimony not just from Constand, but also from 5 other women who claimed that Cosby drugged and sexually assaulted them. They include Janice Baker Kinney, who claimed Cosby assaulted her when he was at the height of his fame in the 1980s, an incident she says she repressed for years.
I think when we all started coming forward about Cosby. It was the start of a movement.
The Me Too movement was already well underway when Cosby went to trial, but he was the first big celebrity criminally convicted, nearly 2 years before the guilty verdict against Hollywood mogul Harvey Weinstein. And outside the criminal justice system, women gained the courage to come forward, a point of pride for the Cosby witnesses.
I think many women feel more empowered because of it, but not enough women feel more empowered.
But that very testimony that helped convict Cosby, now 83 and a shadow of his former self, could be his ticket out of prison. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court agreeing to consider whether testimony from the other women, which prosecutors said showed a pattern of assault, was prejudicial and used to strip Cosby of his presumption of innocence. Some legal experts say the argument is Cosby's best shot at a third trial.
Normally, the prosecution can't just introduce a bunch of bad things that you did in the past to prove that you committed this crime.
Attorney Gloria Allred, who represents dozens of alleged victims, including Baker Kinney, says the implications go far beyond the Cosby case, encouraging victims to come forward.
Courage is contagious. Empowerment is contagious.
No comment from Cosby's legal team ahead of tomorrow's arguments, which will be held virtually and streamed online. The Pennsylvania High Court will also consider whether jurors should have been allowed to hear Cosby's admission in his deposition in Andrea Constand's civil suit that he had given women quaaludes in the 1970s. Cosby's attorneys say he only gave that deposition after assurances from a previous district attorney that he would not be criminally prosecuted. And of course, he was convicted of aggravated indecent assault. Shep?
Oh man, now you don't win Avengers on us. Before I let you dig in on Cosby, let me tell you what made me upset about the whole Cosby situation. I saw a lot of black women in their different places they hang out saying that if he would have stuck dealing with black women, he wouldn't be in jail. I didn't like that because are you saying that black women are some subset of women that it's okay to drug them up with quaaludes and all that? I didn't understand where they was going with that other than to say that, a black woman is just going to take whatever you throw at her and ain't going to do nothing. So I didn't like that part of it. Now, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. So do I believe Cosby had something that he done wrong? Yeah, he done something wrong. Do we know to the links of what he done wrong? I don't think we know, but I do know that he's trying his best to get out of this thing. He's pretty much lost everything. And if this thing goes to this appeal, the tea leaves are saying that he might have a shot at getting out immediately. So Larry, I give the Cosby story to you. What's your take?
I mean, yeah, I feel what you're saying about the whole thing they were talking about with black women. If he had just stuck with black women, he wouldn't be in this trouble. And I think the problem with that is a lot of what you said. Are you trying to make it seem like black women just aren't as valuable to society and therefore the cases would have never been prosecuted? Or are you suggesting that black women just would have taken it and would have they just would have taken the blame for it or just accepted whatever happened to him and never have brought him down? I mean, in any case, he needed to go down. I mean, you can't run around raping people for however long and drugging people. It's just, I mean, my only issue is that I'm not sure how long he got in jail. I don't remember exactly how many years it was, but unless they give someone a death sentence right now, I really feel this way, not just towards Cosby, but towards basically everybody who's in jail who is not an immediate threat to the society. Is with COVID going on and going rampant in the jail and people dying like crazy, I really feel like anybody out there who has the ability to get out and go on house arrest should be on house arrest. Cosby has plenty of places he can go. He has the money to pay for his own monitoring. There's no reason to keep that old man locked up in jail, costing the state God knows how much money every year for all of his medical issues and housing him, and I'm sure he's in some sort of ad seg because they can't put him in general population. He's a celebrity, and he's old, and he's rich. There's just too many factors there that would cause him to be a target. So I don't think he should even be in jail at this point. I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished, but they should put him on house arrest and force him to live in his house and leave it like that. It may not sound harsh for other people, but I think if you are someone who is a celebrity and you're used to flying all over the place on your private jets and going to your multiple homes, I think that punishment is relative. And I think at this point, at his advanced age, it's costing the state more to keep him locked up than to send him home. In fact, they can probably make a little money if they send him home and charged him for his confinement.
Something to think about, ladies and gentlemen. I will revisit and give more of, I guess, a rebuttal to what Larry's saying and a little bit more insight when we see what happens with this appeal process, because COVID is that looming bad guy that we tend to forget as we're battling the day-to-day enemies and barriers that we have to overcome. We oftentimes forget about COVID. So I will come back after we get to that point, see what happens.
And here's the thing with COVID is just like when you start, and I know this is straying off the subject a bit from Cosby, but when you start looking at COVID within the jail systems and the prison system, you have people that are in there for a year, 6 months, 5 years, 10 years, 15, whatever. And there's people that aren't even convicted of anything. They've been arrested, some of them unjustly and wrongly, and they're there waiting trial because they can't afford bail. And there's been a lot of people that have been in jail who have died from COVID because they couldn't afford to get bailed out. They shouldn't even be in there, except they can't afford bail, and now they have basically been delivered a death sentence. Even people who may have actually committed a crime and were given whatever sentence, 5 years, 7 years, 12 years, and they've died, they've essentially been executed because the state realized that there was death sweeping through the jails, and they wouldn't allow them to get out to protect themselves. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you let out some cannibal serial killer who's eating kids and stuff, but some dude who was a crack addict and got caught with 15 keys of dope because he was driving drugs from one place to the other so he can afford his drug habit. I don't think that person's a threat to society. That person doesn't need to be in jail waiting to die from COVID. I mean, send those people home, even if you have to bring them back later, even if you tell them, look, you're going to be at home on house arrest for the next year until we get a vaccine. And then once the vaccine's available, we're going to have to bring you back to finish your sentence. And maybe at that time, they'll realize, hey, wait a minute. If you've been out all this time and you have not reoffended and you have not broken your parole, we're just going to leave you on parole. I mean, I think we should go through, first of all, just a matter of safety and for the public interest to get because imagine how much money this is going to cost all these people, the state, when you have all these people in there that have COVID, and then all of a sudden you find out, okay, well, they've got it, they're over it, and now a couple years later they have heart conditions and kidney disease and all kinds of other issues. Who do you think's paying for that? Those people are in jail. The state, people get upset because they say prisoners have some of the best health care that the state has to offer. And who do you think's who's going to fork out the money for that? It's going to be you. It's going to be me. It's our tax dollars. So,
Well, folks, we'll come back to that on another day when we talk about criminal justice reform. And you can damn sure believe we're going to be talking about that very soon. Your boy Buzz, pick number 7. And Buzz, you might like this one. You might like it. It deals with stocks, and I'm going to give you guys a little insight on how, as a retail investor, I've done well and how I pick stocks when I'm kind of watching the marketplace shaking the tea leaves. One thing that a lot of smart people do in the stock market, and if you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to my channel, subscribe to his. Link is in the video description. A lot of people watch options and they watch what institutional investors are investing in because it helps them feel as though they're getting a leg up in what's going to be blowing up in the coming weeks or maybe long term. I also do that, but I do it with ETFs. My portfolio is heavy tech, heavy future stocks, heavy future growth stocks. And the one that I follow is this one right here. It's the ART ETF. And that young lady right there, Kathy Woods, is the CEO of ART ETF. They do innovative tech, and they've got 3 different ETFs. Now look at who she puts as associates of hers. There's 2 brothers on her associate board team. Now, if you all have ever seen the show Billions, think of it like that. You've got a CEO, and then you've got a lot of people on the computers clicking the numbers, and that's how our ETF is. But what they do, ladies and gentlemen, and let me show you the graphic from Robinhood. This is the ETF today, 112. This is what the ETF was 5 years ago. And you see that a 429% jump. And if you look at 3 months ago, it made a 20% jump. Now, I said all those things to say, our ETF sends out a list every single day. These are one of the very few companies that sends out their daily list of buys and sales. I follow them because when I'm breaking down data and I'm looking at numbers to try to do my swing trading, I come in here, and when they email me what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, I hop in here and I see what they're buying and what they're selling. And I would encourage everybody who's watching this video, sign up for their email list, see what they're buying, what they're selling, and see if you can incorporate that into your business model, into your trading model. And if you ever see something on this list that they have bought twice in one day with any of their ETFs, that is probably something you might want to buy for a swinging or long-term hold. So just an example for today, they bought Shopify. And if you go over to the right, the thing that they bought the most, Taiwan Semi, they bought 532,000 shares, which tells me that's a hot buy. That's something you might want to buy and sit on for a little while. So Larry, do you have anything on their list that they bought or sold today?
No, actually I don't. But I'm looking at some of this. I'm looking at some of this, and I see some of the stuff that they've sold. It's interesting. It looks like they sold Slack, which I've been hearing quite a bit because they're merging with whatchamacallit.
Man, they're merging with Salesforce, man. And I bought them Monday, got out of them yesterday and made $150, and then got back into them because they made the formal announcement today, and the stock went down. And I didn't read their email list yesterday. And if I would have read it, I would have stayed out, because the email list yesterday, they wound up selling Slack twice yesterday. And now they're selling it a third day.
Yeah. And it looks like they're buying Workhorse, which is interesting. Yeah, they've had a little dip, so maybe they're just doing some bargain hunting.
Yeah, they are doing some bargain hunting on tech. But ladies and gentlemen, that is an excellent way to maybe not make the big money if you're a day trader, and that's not something I really do. I do swinging and long-term investing in options. But if you're looking for an edge and you want to follow a company where I just showed you the ETF and I just showed you their growth in 5 years, follow some of what they're doing, and it might help you make you a little bit of money.
Yeah, you might have to send me that info so I can sign up for that list, man. I like that. That's I didn't know about that. That's interesting.
Definitely, man. And Kathy Woods was the person this young lady said 2 years ago, and everybody laughed at her, Larry. She said within 3 years, Tesla would hit $1,000 a share. They laughed her ass out the room. They be trying to hate on this woman, but as you've seen, she has grown her ETF in the last 5 years 429%.
That's crazy. That's some serious growth right there.
Unbelievable. Follow them, people. Moving right along to, let's see here, my folk Mike Willie, big Mike Willie from the Michigan, pick number 3. And number 3, ladies and gentlemen, talks about Isaac Wright. He is the guy that they made the show, 50 Cent has done the show For Life about. If you're finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to this channel, subscribe to his, subscribe to mine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, news broke just yesterday that my folk Isaac, this is what he looks like. He, ladies and gentlemen, is getting ready to run for mayor of New York. Now, if you don't know his background, here's a little bit of his background and what he had to go through to get his legal license in jail.
About topical, people all over the world are fighting against injustice. Our next guest has lived it, fought it, he's overcome it. He's the inspiration for the ABC show For Life. From New York, Isaac Wright Jr. joins us. Isaac, sir, good morning to you. I'm glad that you're here. You were convicted and sentenced to life in prison for a crime you did not commit. For some reason, in my head, I think of maybe the first time or the first of many times when the jail door slammed shut and you were on the wrong side of those bars. How did that feel?
It's an indescribable feeling, you know. That noise, the noise of the metal clanging together, is a very, very distinct sound. And been in prison, and you know, when filming the show, there was an incident that occurred in a cell where the executive producer's monitors were held. It was in an actual jail cell. It was the first time that I'd been inside the prison, you know, since my release, and actually inside a cell. And they gave a command, the director gave a command to close the doors. And when those doors closed, and I heard that sound, that distinct sound of metal playing against each other, I couldn't take it.
Is your story appropriately told? Is this the For Life series, What Happened to You?
Absolutely. It is appropriately told. I mean, there has been some fictionalization of the story. You know, the story's on network TV. And so it's it has to be governed by a family oriented nature. The realities of prison and prison life is extremely horrible. It's dangerous. It's inhumane. It's derogatory. And so we had to find that balance in creating the show and telling this story. We had to make sure that we found that balance because some of the dark realities, you just couldn't have that on network TV.
Larry, why your people in the comment section tripping, talking about my man got a damn perm? Hell, no.
Oh man, I looked at it and I thought to myself, bro, you need to do something with that hair.
See, my God. See, y'all already basically saying this man is not going to win the election based on his damn hair.
I mean, appearance matters. I mean, let's just be real. Appearance matters.
Hey, Smokey Robinson put a kid in his head.
Smokey Robinson is a singer.
Your boy,
this dude's an attorney.
Attorney can't have a perm in his head, Larry.
They can, but I'm just saying, when I don't know if I want my attorney to have a perm.
Well, if your attorney got his degree in jail, then I think he's got over 100 people that was convicted of a crime. Out of those, because he went back and did his due diligence and got him out, then he got himself out. Hasn't he paid his dues? That hell, he can come in there with a Snoop Dogg afro if he wants to.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, dude could wear whatever hairstyle he wants. He's put in the work. He's got his props, no doubt. He can do whatever he wants to do.
But I feel you. I feel what you're saying, though. I mean, we can say this amongst each other in our community because you know how they treat us. But you know, when you're trying to appease a mass audience, and typically minorities are not in America, they're minorities amongst the audience, you have to look a certain way. Can you imagine if Barack Obama would have had an Apache haircut running for the president of the United States?
We wouldn't know who Barack Obama was.
We wouldn't know him.
We wouldn't know. It would just be that simple. He probably would have never made the State House in Chicago. We just would not know who he was.
But having said those things, Larry, does the brother have a shot at winning New York? I would love to see it happen, but I don't think he has a chance.
I mean, I'm going to say no, but he has a story. He has an interesting story. People love an underdog story. They love that feel good thing. The problem with that is that when someone goes to jail, whether they were rightfully or wrongfully convicted, there's a stigma attached to it. When you've been in jail and you've been in prison, there's a stigma attached to it. Even if people come out and say, you know, he was wrongfully convicted, he shouldn't have done his time, people still look at you differently. They're going to look at you like, well, you still did time in prison. There's, you know, you did time in prison, you survived. There's something about you that's not safe. There's something dangerous about you. There's something, and there's always that sense of questioning about whether or not they should have been, maybe they really did do something. It's sort of like it's like when people are accused of a sexual crime. It doesn't matter if a woman says somebody raped her, says a guy raped her, even if she's totally lying, and it's proven that she's lying. There's always those people that are going to always look at them with a little side eye. So
right.
I mean, everybody has a chance, but I don't think so.
Yeah, and situations like this kind of make me mad, man, because I want you to think, and people that know me know I always go back to this. Michael Vick got caught dogfighting. White people treated him like he damn near was the devil's brother. Never forgave him. To this day, he hasn't been forgiving. He did his time, and they still won't forgive him.
No.
But those same individuals, Larry, took their ass out there and voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Those same individuals would be the type that will look at this brother and say, because of your hairdo, I'm not voting for you. Like we said from the beginning, the way you look matters. And
it
so
does.
And so this is just another degree of what minorities have had to deal with. We've had to blend in when we can, prove ourselves before we get back to being or behaving or dressing the way we want to dress and act. And
that's part of the problem. Some of us are better at code switching than others. Some of us know how to do it.
Barack Obama knows how to do it. Barack Obama is the master of it.
Right. And I don't mean code switching just in the sense of speech and language. That's definitely, I think, how most people think of it. And that is primarily what people talk about when they talk about code switching. But code switching is more than that. It's about how you dress. It's about the clothes you wear, or even how you wear the clothes that you wear.
Right.
You know, because you can go and buy a Champion hoodie and a pair of Levi's jeans and look like just anybody, regular, any old Joe. But you can also go buy a Champion hoodie that's maybe a size too big, and you can maybe pull your jeans down so they sag a little bit, and all of a sudden people look at you a little bit different than if you had your pants pulled up high with your belt all cinched up and your hoodie fitted properly, you know, so it's snug on you. People look at you a little differently. But that's the thing, is that there's different styles for different people, and black people often I think where a lot of us are at now is like we get tired of cultural appropriation in some respects, but at the same time, we want to push the culture forward because we're tired of code switching. We're tired of having to code switch to be accepted. We just want the culture in the forefront and accepted so that we can dress and speak and look and act however we want, and to be accepted as part of the norm and not something that's out of the norm. You know, I mean, if you go and you see somebody wearing a pair of boots or a flannel shirt or a pair of Wrangler jeans, people don't think anything twice. They don't think twice about it. They don't look at him like he's some sort of weirdo.
Nope.
You know, but if you see a dude dressed, you know, with his pants sagging a little bit, or his shirt or his hoodie or whatever a little bit too big, people are gonna think, oh man, he must be a thug. He must be this. He must be that. So I think that's part of the whole thing about trying to push the culture forward, is so that we don't have to code switch. I think we've been seeing more and more of that. When you see women in the workplace saying, no, I should be able to wear natural hair in the workplace. There should not be a hair dress code for black women when you don't understand black women's hair. You can't say you can't wear braids. You can't say you can't wear twist or locks or an afro, because that is our hair. And so I think pushing that forward is part of getting away from some of the code switching, saying, I don't have to code switch. I should not have to go and put a wig on when I go to work to make it look like I have straight hair, or I shouldn't have to go get a relaxer, or I should be able to wear my hair how I want to wear my hair. Mm-hmm. And I think the more we push for that, the more we get to it. I think men like him will be accepted for just who he is.
Let's hope so. We'll follow that one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm anxious to see how he behaves in a debate. And so when they get the running for the New York mayor going next year, me and Larry be right on top of it.
You know, I think the thing that's going to be interesting about him is I think that they're going to underestimate him, because I think they're going to look at his appearance. They're going to look at his background maybe, and some people may take him very seriously and be like, wait a minute, this dude did all of this. He's legit, and we should be careful with him. But I think there's others that are going to look at him and his appearance, his outward appearance, and they're probably going to discount him, and they're probably going to do so at their peril when they find out, holy crap, this dude is very intelligent, and he's fast on his feet, and they're going to have to probably go and reshuffle and adjust their game plan to deal with him. So I expect that. I expect that if people, that if people are, take to his story and he has something really positive to say to the people of New York, I think that I don't know if he'll win, but I think he'll do far better than anybody suspected.
Yeah. And for all we know, he might revamp his image too. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1 was picked by Satino, and I hope you're still watching because this is your number. Ladies and gentlemen, I only put these stories in here because they sell tickets. I really don't give a damn about these stories, but they sell tickets, and y'all like ratchetness. Not you that are watching right now, but when I post this stuff across YouTube, they just get clicks. Larry.
No, I'm talking about them too. They like ratchetness. I know y'all do.
They don't like no, man. These people that are with us right now, they're evolved, they're elevated, their thinking is in a different place. And when we do this ratchetness, it's just icing on the cake for them. It ain't the cake. It's just icing on it. So
I don't know. I think whenever I look in the comments and I see this character named Lamont Tyson, I think he likes ratchetness. There's another character in there too called the Life Games Review. I think he likes ratchetness too.
Hell no.
We know Chris P likes ratchetness.
Yeah, Chris P. He for everything. If you guys are finding me and Larry for the first time, please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to his. Links in the description. Larry, do you know who this woman is?
I think that's Scottie Pippen's little trick, right?
That's Scottie Pippen's ex-wife and Scottie Pippen's son. Well, she made the news. Yeah, she made the news this week, ladies and gentlemen, doing what she does best. She's
been in hoe mode for a while, hasn't she?
I mean, ain't most NBA wives in hoe mode most of the time? Groupie mode, whatever you want to call it. Take a look at what's going on with her right now.
Larsa Pippen definitely has a type. NBA athlete. She was spotted out with a Timberwolves player days after he signed a $60 million deal. Here's the inside scoop. Larsa Pippen is still in the throes of her divorce from Scottie Pippen, but she's hitting the town and living her life as a single woman who is ready to mingle. And she's not straying too far from her ex-husband. She has her eyes set on another NBA athlete. Larsa was spotted out with Malik Beasley, a 24-year-old Timberwolves guard who recently signed a 4-year, $60 million deal with the Minnesota team. The two were spotted out holding hands and looking very cozy. Wags T After Dark shared these pics with the caption, "The devil works hard, but Larsa Pippen works harder." To make matters worse, back in March, Malik Beasley and Wags Yao Montana had secretly tied the knot. I highly doubt a divorce was finalized because Malik and Yao are now facing felony charges related to a September incident in which the NBA player allegedly pointed an automatic rifle at a car containing a family in an idling car near his rental house. Okay, lots to unpack here, but the takeaways is that Malik was married and was spending time with his wife as recently as September. Either their relationship crumbled very quickly or the Wolves athlete is cheating on his new spouse with Larsa. One thing is clear though, Larsa and Malik look very cozy, so we'll have to see what happens next with them. Larsa Pippen definitely has a type. She loves going for those NBA athletes, whether it's Scottie Pippen or Malik or even Tristan Thompson, who she claims she was dating when Khloe met him. It's always going to be a pro basketball player for Larsa. And the guys obviously love her too. 46-year-old is definitely an attractive woman. What do you guys think is going on here? Is it serious? Is he cheating? Are they going to last? So many questions. Let me know all your answers in the comment section below.
Man, let me tell you something about this woman and people that do what she's doing. She knows exactly what the hell she's doing. She jumped on this young pup, and Larry, I don't care what you want to say. You might try to name me for this, but the older you are, the more tricks you learn, the older you get. That chick has probably got so many tricks in her bag that she's going to throw on this 24-year-old. His ass is liable to get her pregnant with twins, and she done got the bag all over again.
Isn't she like 40-something now?
46, yeah. What? And what?
That's a little old to have a kid. I mean, that's talking about. I mean, that is what they. No, seriously, that is what they call a geriatric pregnancy because it's dangerous at that point.
Man, well, it's a new trend that started like 6 years ago. I can name you 5 women that have had babies over the age of 45, and they act like it ain't nothing. And then, having said that, she can just have somebody else carry the baby. She wants to get the bag from him. I feel like this. Homeboy was married, okay? And now his wife is saying that after seeing these pictures, it caused so much unrest with her, she's about to file for divorce. I kind of always feel like when people get involved with mega celebrities and athletes, and that's men and women, no matter how good you think the person is, you have to keep your eye on the fact that this type of stuff is going to happen. This type of it goes with the territory. At times, I feel like some people know it's going to happen. They wish, and they're just thinking that they're going to change the individual from dibber-dabbling in this type of temptation. My question to you, Larry, is this another cash grab for Larsa Pippen? And they did get the son involved. So the son was, tweeting and talking about it because people were saying they feel sorry for the son, yada, yada, yada. And the son said, hey, don't worry about me. I ain't the one that's spinning around on all these penises.
Yeah.
So what you think?
I mean, is that her son?
That's her
son. Or is
son.
that Scottie Pippen's son?
That's her son, Scottie Pippen's son, Scottie Pippen Jr.
I mean, look at why would a young man want to be with her? Look at her.
Well, look at his real wife. They look about the same.
Well, his real wife looks like she's probably more age appropriate. Look at her face. She looks like she's had so much work done. She looks like she can't even smile.
And his Instagram wife don't?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean.
And see, that's the thing that I can't figure out either, Larry, because, a lot of beautiful natural women who don't do anything feel the same way I feel. What the hell do these rich men see in these women with fake lips, fake boobs, fake butts, rhinoplasty? They all kind of start looking at, how can I say this without offending the LGBT community? Larry, what's
drag queens in a lot of ways? They look like drag queens.
Exactly. That's the proper way to say it. There you go. So what's the deal, bro? What's the deal?
I mean, his wife doesn't look bad. His wife looks cool. She looks like she's probably had some collagen injections in her lips or something, but she looks cool. But the other chick, the Larissa stuff, she looks terrible. Her face looks like she looks like she's been to the plastic surgeon one too many times. Like she looks like she was probably a beautiful woman if she just would have left her face alone.
Yeah, she's
and
got
now
that.
she looks like it doesn't move.
She got that little Kim look going on. You know.
Yeah, she looks like she looks like she's at that point where she's right on the edge of looking freakish, like she's just there, and anything else she does is gonna push her over to the freakish edge, and she just needs to leave that. But I just don't understand. Maybe he needs a mommy figure or something. I don't understand why he needs to be with someone like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I just think to myself, like, there's so many beautiful women in the world. Why go get somebody who's been recycled through the league so many times and has such a history? And I mean, I just don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, hell, if you're gonna go do something like that, go date a Kardashian. At least they'll get your career popping.
Well, I mean, Larry.
Forget a Kardashian. She's not a Kardashian knockoff. Kardashians will take you, and they will put you on a TV show. Next thing you know, you're gonna have a whole other brand of clothes and shoes. You will be a part of a brand. The Kardashians will hook your business up. So,
Larry, let me say it like this, man. There's something to be said about an older woman. They know how to cradle you right. They do all these little things that young chicks ain't gonna do. When you're done beating with them, they might be rubbing through your hair. They're gonna get a comb, scratch the dandruff out your hair, make you a sandwich. They'll pop the zits on your face. They'll do all the little stuff that the young chicks don't know how to do. And not to mention, with all that age comes experience of things they know how to do in the bedroom to really blow your mind. And maybe that's what he wanted.
I mean, I hear you, and I guess my point still remains. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of young women out there that have those skills. They know how to cook. They know how to treat a man. Shoot, go down south and go find you a nice young hottie. I bet you Mississippi knows how to do all that. Yeah. I bet you Mercedes knows how to do all that if you can lock her down. But I just think that, I don't know. I just think it's sort of ridiculous. I mean, I have to say, if I was in the league and I met one of these chicks who have been around the league, dated a bunch of ball players, there's no way in hell I'm dating her. Like, well, I might smash because it would be fun, maybe, but we're not going to be holding hands, cupcake, and walking through the mall. Nah.
And Larry, we'll see where it goes. Maybe he trying to play her. Maybe she trying to play him. Maybe this is just going to be some kind of arrangement of convenience, because that happens too.
Here's the other thing I don't get about these dudes, right? You get these dudes that hit the genetic lottery. These dudes 6'7", 6'8", 7 feet tall. They want to go marry some little 5'2" chick that is gonna mess up their gene pool. I don't understand why do it. I'll tell you right now, if I was in the NBA, what I would be doing, is going through the list of every WNBA player and find out who's straight, because we know that a vast majority of them are not. No diss on the LGBT community. We just know a lot of the people in the league of the WNBA are part of that community. I would go find all the straight chicks, find the best looking ones, and I would start asking them out, because I would want to improve my gene pool. If I'm 6'9" right now and she's 6'4", I want to make sure I have a 7'2" baby.
Larry,
I want to make sure that my kid is at least 3-4 inches taller than me. And if I'm 6'10", then I want to find a chick who's 6'8", so that we can then have a 7'4" baby.
No, good and damn well, when we start thinking with the little head, we ain't thinking about no gene pool. We thinking about the pool we getting in that night so we can get these rocks off. And
come on, man. You gonna tell me that you didn't marry your wife in part because she was smart as hell? You didn't want no dummy ass kids?
Yeah, but I'm not 6'7". I'm not 6'7" trying to produce a child that's going to be tall. That was your argument.
Thing, though. You were smart, and you were trying to produce a kid that's going to be even smarter. You were like, if I'm as smart as I am now, and I marry a doctor, I'm going to end up with a kid that, I don't know, my kid might be a Nobel Prize winner or something. So I'm thinking it's the same thing, just in the physical.
No.
It's just in the physical sector where you have somebody who's 6'8", 6'9". You go meet a woman who's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and then you have a super kid.
Because these guys are legitimately getting these women that's 5'5", and some of them still having tall ass kids. Let's look at Shaquille O'Neal. Let's look at Kobe Bryant. Let's look at Michael Jordan.
Shaquille O'Neal didn't have any kids as tall as him.
Man, his oldest son is 6'8" and is in
Yeah,
LSU.
Shaquille O'Neal is 7 foot tall.
Okay, but 6'8" is tall enough to get in the NBA. You got skills.
It's not as, yeah, but he already diluted his gene pool. Shaq should have been hooked up with Lisa Leslie, at least for the kid.
Oh man,
He should, at least for the kid.
I'm done. I'm
At
done.
least for the
We're
kid.
done.
Maybe what's the other chick's name? The chick that used to play for New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what Larsa Pippen did, leave me your comments. How you feel about homeboy's baby mama that was 5'2"? Leave me your comment. Leave me your comment. I'm out of it.
I'm 6 foot in the morning. I wouldn't even have married a chick that was like 5'2". Man, come on, I don't even want to mess up my gene pool like that.
If she's smart as hell, you marry her, right?
She'd have to be like Einstein brilliant for me to go downhill like that.
Right. This next one is for my family, Moochie. It's number 4. And Mooch, I hope this doesn't make you cry because it almost brought a tear to my eye, Mooch. I can't lie. It almost brought a tear to my eye. Just the other day, Larry, there was a birthday. You know whose birthday it was? It was this good brother right here, Chadwick Boseman. His birthday was Thanksgiving. And guess what Marvel did to commemorate his birthday? They changed the opening on Black Panther. You know how Marvel is very creative when they do their openings for different shows. Take a look at how they did the new open. They released it on Twitter. Man.
That was dope.
Man.
That was dope.
Take a look at this, man. Damn. Black Panther fans got a treat this Thanksgiving weekend when the film was updated on Disney Plus with a special intro honoring the late, great Chadwick Boseman. The intro, which features scene of Boseman in character as T'Challa, was created in time for what would have been Boseman's 44th birthday, November 29th. Marvel Studios posted the intro on Twitter with the caption, "Long live the king, Wakanda forever." Larry, every time Marvel do something like this, man, I'm just thinking to myself, we can't have another Black Panther. How do you feel about what they did, and how long is the wait going to be before we get a new T'Challa? Because every time they do that, I'm just like, man, I don't even want to see a new one.
We don't need a new T'Challa. All we need is the rightful ruler of Wakanda to go and take over. That's all we need.
Here we go with this crap.
I appreciate what T'Challa did, but the fact of the matter is that we already have a rightful ruler of Wakanda, and his name is Killmonger. All
as I was saying, that was the rightful ruler of Wakanda. He's gone now, ladies and gentlemen. Marvel commemorated the rightful ruler of the throne. Period. the rightful ruler of the throne. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all really, really enjoyed that, because in that one stretch of films he's done where he was in Captain America, he was in the Avengers movies and Black Panther, dude killed it. And every time Marvel does something like this, man, it just hurts my feelings. He's not going to be replaced. So rest your soul, Chadwick Boseman. Me and Larry approve of it. and we will keep your legacy going, no matter how much this guy keep right on trying to give Killmonger your place on that throne.
Now, I do want to say Buzz was up there a minute ago. 703 was talking crap, saying when you ever seen a good-looking woman over 6 feet tall?
Oh, it's been a bunch, Buzz. I mean, pretty much every model that you see on runways up until about 2005 was 6 foot plus. Hell, Tyra Banks is 6'10". I mean, 6 foot and a half or something like that. And
all them Brooke Shields is tall.
Yeah,
you know, Elle McPherson is over 6 foot. I think Naomi's like 5'11" or something. I think like in that whole era of like the big supermodels, I think the only one that was short was Kate, what's her name? Kate Moss. I think she was the only one that wasn't tall, and she was known because she was short. No.
Yeah.
But there's a whole bunch of hot chicks out there that are tall, man. Don't. I'm telling you, do not sleep. If you have not climbed a tree, get your rope and climb your tree.
And I have. You know, I dated a girl, and my wife picks on me when I tell her this story. And anybody that lived in Greenville that saw this, I don't want to hear your comments. When I first graduated high school and I was making my way about to go to Wake Forest, I would come home, play basketball with some of the people at ECU. And they had this little place where they had a full court and the rim was 9.5. And the ECU women's basketball team would come out there and play. And these chicks was rough. Okay. They had a forward that was 6'4". And Larry, I go up for a rebound. Somebody shot and missed. I go up for the rebound, lackadaisical, because I didn't know somebody was standing right behind me. The chick that's 6'4", as I'm going up, I just see a hand reach for the ball, grab it, and dunk it right on me. Ball hits me in the head, and she up there laughing, pointing, and all that. And I'm just like, no the hell, this something didn't just dunk on me, laugh in front of everybody, right? So you know what I had to do, Larry? I had to roll up on her after the game, and I had to get her number. That's what I had to do. And
I like that.
And the rest is academic. No, and I climbed the tree too, baby. And I climbed the tree without ropes. So yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, free climbing. Buzz said he said that about 6 footers. The rival Larry's comment about short women. I like short women too. I'm just don't want to mess up. I just didn't want to mess up my gene pool with some little 5 foot chick. Now, don't get me wrong. It's 5'5". I'm okay with that. You know, I think Halle Berry's 5'5", so I can go Halle Berry height and up. You know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Now, this next one is for. Let me see here. Where's my man at? What's up, Trisha? I didn't speak to you today. And Trisha says she's good looking and she's 6 foot tall. Shoot.
Oh, see, there you go. She's 6 foot tall and she's got loot. For all y'all don't know, you need to give it her. She might be able to give you some financial advice too.
That's right. Hey, that girl paid, bro. And if Teresa, if you single and brothers, you up here looking for a good woman, that chick, I think she's a step up. And I literally mean that. All the way around, she's a step up. So this one is for my man DeAndre, and it is power. Larry. Now, before we break that clip down, let me just recap what we last saw in Power. All right. In the very last episode, we caught Meth McLean and Cooper Saxe making a deal to take down Tariq. The pair decided they worked together to take him down, and the trailer showed Tariq on the ground trying to fend off someone on top of him. Also in the new promo, Tariq continues to work with Monet as Tasha faces trial over ghost murder. Having said all those things, Larry, who was calling Drew on that cell phone from what we just saw in that clip?
That was probably that little dude, the little basketball player dude that was all up in his guts before. I think it was probably that dude.
Well, then that leads me to another question. Was that Drew's phone at all, or was that Diana's phone? I think it was Drew's phone.
Yeah, it was probably Drew's phone. I think Drew's, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's calling Diana though, because I don't think it was Tariq.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you who I think is gonna hook up. I think that Braden's gonna end up getting with Diana. Diana's gonna try and make Tariq jealous and start messing with try and start flirting with Braden, and then Braden is gonna end up feeling her, and she's gonna end up going out with him. They're gonna actually end up hooking up.
Nah, Braden has his Holly. We've already got Tommy 2.0 going on with Braden. And what's the girl's name? Her name is
the little troll doll. She's gonna die.
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna die this season though. I mean, her storyline is way too rich for her to die this season. I don't think she's dying this season.
Okay,
we'll see. But did you see who was missing from that clip? The person missing was Kane.
I thought they showed Kane from the back when they walked out. Wasn't he wearing that red sweatshirt?
Let's say that was Kane. She's not making Kane stay down there and cut up the drugs and count the money. She's taking Kane with her.
Already rough around the edges. I think she's trying to toughen those two up a little bit.
Okay. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then my last question is between these two right here, Meth McLean, Cooper Sacks. Who is going to double cross the other one first, and how detrimental will it be to the case?
Oh, they're going to blow the case up. They're both going to double cross each other. It's going to come out, and they're both going to they're going to they're both going to end up the case screwed up. I think Tasha's going to end up getting out of jail. Meth McLean's probably going to end up with his law license suspended, or basically on the verge of it. And
what?
I think they're going to screw each other over. They're both going to try and go at it from the wrong angle, and they're going to end up getting screwed. So,
when is this young lady right here getting out of jail?
I'm saying, what do we have? What do we have? 10 episodes?
We got, I think it's 10. I'm not for sure, but I think it's 10, and we're getting ready to start number 6.
If we have 10 episodes, I'm going to say she's getting out on 9.
Now, see, I would agree with you on that, but I think Tommy is coming back on episode 9. So,
well, if Tommy's coming back, we may not see her out this year.
Okay.
If Tommy's coming back, then what we might see is just Tommy come in at episode 9 or 10. She stays in jail till next year, and then we see Tariq maybe goes through the summer in LA, because I mean he's not really going to have his drug business going during the summertime because school's going to be out. So maybe he just goes over. Maybe he goes to LA and goes work with Tommy, and then when he comes back, that's when the next season comes in, and then we start looking at getting Tasha out.
Mike Willie. I thought you was on my side. Mike Willie gonna say Meth gonna hook up with Carrie. Everyone else, everybody gets a turn. Man, stop it. Muchella, y'all miss Muchella down there putting up lock and keys. I saw you, Muchella. I just didn't admonish you for that. Man, y'all stop. Look.
Oh, man.
Carrie had so far up that little basketball player's butt, she probably thinks she's seeing his eyeballs and they look like basketballs. That's how far she up his butt. And I'm sick of it. I can't wait for them to kill him. And then Carrie is going to have to sit on the couch. Now, Larry, you talk about women yesterday that are as beautiful as Holly. That Carrie is pretty close.
She's bad.
She's
bad.
Up there. Yeah, she's up there.
I have to say, if I was in her class, I would sit in the front row with a lock and a key and just all day, just the whole class, click, clack, until she called me in for office hours.
Why y'all let this man start this stuff?
I didn't bring it up.
Yes, you did. It's you. It's the mooch. And Nita the diva. All y'all keep this crazy mess going about that professor. And I guess what, we'll see what the professor's up to this weekend, because ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back to doing power reviews and trailer reviews, and I'll be doing shameless trailer reviews. So you guys be on the lookout for both of those.
I'm looking forward to Shameless, man.
I am too, man. I just want to know, what do they have in store for the last season? You know, what could they do this last season? And I did go back and watch the trailer, and Liam is in the trailer. He's in the trailer. So
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do for it. It's got to be something good though. They have to go out with a bang.
Yeah. And I'm sure they will. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us on a Wednesday night. We thank you all for coming. You guys are the livest audience. You're a great audience. We greatly appreciate you tuning in to us. Always reach out to us on both of our channels. Reach out to us on Instagram. Let us know some of the other shows you guys are watching that we might can squeeze in. Be sure to tap Larry up for his technology. And Moochella.
You gotta love Moochie. The Mooch holding it down.
Mooch. And I was just about to invite her back on the show next week so we can have some power. But you know what? I'm gonna go and invite a lock and a key set now. I ain't inviting them. I'm inviting a lock and a key set to be the special guest to take the place of, because this mess gotta stop. I can't believe this mess. But Larry, get us out of here, man. Let the people know how you feeling, and then we will see you guys on Friday.
Yeah, y'all. I can't stress this enough. Please mask up. If you can stay at home, because I know everybody's sick of this pandemic. I know people are sick of hearing about it. But when I go out in the streets and I see people out there, they're just living their lives like there's no pandemic. People are running up in the stores. The stores are busy and people are just living their life. And if you haven't paid attention to the news lately, today we're already at 2,500 deaths just today. There are countries that only have 25 deaths during the entire pandemic, and we have 2,500 just today. So please mask up. Please stay at home if you can. Please maintain social distance. I want to see everybody get through this thing. I want to see everybody make it until the vaccine's out there and we're taking it and everybody feels comfortable and safe taking it. Make sure that you vote for. You go to gasenate.com so that you can help support the Senate races in Georgia, because if Kamala Harris and Joe Biden can have a Democratic Senate to work with, there's going to be a bigger COVID package that comes down the pipeline, and we'll be able to get a lot more stuff done for this country that needs to get done. So make sure you go to gasenate.com, show your support if you can. And folks, just try and mask up and stay home if you can, because I just want to see everybody make it through this mess. I really do. And all these people out there saying COVID's not real. It's real. People are dying. More people are dying from it every day. And Fauci's talking about that we're about to see a super surge on top of a surge. And this is the crazy thing. We're about to see a super surge on top of a surge because of Thanksgiving. And right at the time when we are really going to see those numbers just explode, we're going to be right there at Christmas. So, it's going to get ugly. So if you can, just avoid human beings altogether. If they don't live in your household, if you do not have a tight bubble, just avoid people altogether if you can.
Yep. He said it best, ladies and gentlemen. As best you can, be safe, protect your families, avoid the people. Please help that GA Senate race. I'm not feeling good about it, but we need it. There's so much stuff that has been done wrong to this country in the last 4 years that we need to right the ship back to a fair balance. It's not going to happen unless we can get those Senate races. And for the funding for the American people, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part that hurts me the most. Mitch McConnell and the Republicans, they got their money for the rich. They got their literally 0.5% interest money that pretty much the wealthy could get their hands on. and the American people got $1,200. We got peanuts.
Yeah. They're done with us now.
And now Mitch McConnell is blocking anything that's more than $500 billion. $500 billion is not even enough money for just New York and California, let alone the whole United States.
No.
And so now that he's
California is so bad, they're talking about going on a stay-at-home order again. Because they've running out of hospital beds and everything. They're about to go on a stay-at-home order. It's so bad in the state.
And it's not just California, ladies and gentlemen. New York has hinted about that. Wisconsin was hinting at that. A lot of the quote-unquote Republican states have been talking about this thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, do what you can to encourage people to vote for the Democratic senators in Georgia. Send a $1 donation down there, $5, whatever it takes. And the most important thing that you can do as an individual, wear a mask when you go out, social distance, wash your hands.
Yeah.
Till that next Sexy as Hell video on Friday, we'll see you.
Peace.